When we grow up, and I speak for 90% of the population when I say this, we are subconsciously and sometimes to a lesser extent consciously forced away from individual belief, curiosity, and into acceptance of other people's failures. And what I mean by this is anytime an adult ever told you something wasn't possible when you were a kid, it's because they didn't know how to do it. So what's interesting to me is quantum mechanics and the measurement problem and the connection between a person's life and the person. This connection is a physical parameter known as perception or awareness. Everyone has perception. Everyone has access to it. A lot of people think that it's a physical field that exists everywhere, and it kind of folds on itself, twists and ribbons to create a little pocket where you operate, within the whole but separate from it. Back up for a second, because what's interesting about the measurement problem, what's interesting about and groundbreaking and completely paradigm changing about quantum physics is that when you observe things, they change. So you have naive realism, you have non-locality, and you have the collapse of the waveform, okay? Naive realism, when someone takes a psychedelic and they look at a painting and the painting morphs, well, naive realism would have you believe that the painting is actually morphing. Either that, or they would have to accept the proposal that the human mind or perception is strong enough. And they wouldn't say perception, because they would say they would say perception is just the real thing being shown to you in some part of your brain, or they don't know where. And you have indirect realism, which, believes that you're getting a version of something. Basically, I believe that the brain is a remote control and the TV knows that you're watching. Sounds paranoid, but when you look at things like the double slit experiment, you look at things like backwards time, you ask, what kind of measurement is required for a wave function to collapse with the Schrodinger cat experiment, for example. Because quantum systems, I'm not sure that inherently points to the universe as a whole. Because really, there is no universe as a whole. The human being is what puts the pieces that are available for this era in animal development together with their brain to create a whole universe. I mean, unless you want to consider every possibility, every actuality, and, count the particles. My point is that now we've talked about those in non-locality. What does non-locality insinuate? It means it insinuates that the whole mindset of something being somewhere is one mindset. Everything has to be somewhere. Why? Because there's something else next to it and something behind it. So you're locating it in a physical, space. No, these are products of human evolution necessity so that we could hunt. Non-locality is an explanation for the uncertainty principle. Where is it? Well, I can't tell because everything in space is moving. Therefore, if I know where it is, I don't know its speed. Therefore, I don't know its distance over time. Therefore, I can't know where it went in that amount of time. Non-locality says, well, it's not really anywhere. Therefore, you can know everything about it, right? And non-locality is seen in a light switch that changes the patterns of Christmas lights. They are individually wired lights, and their entire system is closed. Yet this non-local remote control can alter the patterns and the colors. You know what I'm saying? Things can exist outside of the system.